Lord, my strength, my redeemer, let him go in peace. So those were the words said by T.D. Jakes, 67 years old, from the Potter House Church located in Dallas, Texas. Houston also has a Dallas, Texas. I'm sorry, Houston also has a Potter House location as well. So listen, I want to play this speech from T.D. Jakes, when he had his medical emergency on stage. So let's just check this out really quick.
See, there got to be somebody special to come get it. PMT serve the people of God. It was a pleasure. I still love to preach. I ain't tired of preaching. I miss you. I miss you. Have you ever gone to the hospital to visit somebody and you thought you was going to encourage them and they encourage you? That's what preaching is like. You think you're giving out something, but you're getting back more than you gave. I love you. Now, Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Lord, my strength, my redeemer. Let him go in peace.
Time. Back up.
So listen, my heart, my prayers and everything goes out to T.D. Jakes, his family, friends, congregation, anybody who's familiar with and loves his ministry, right? I'm not really familiar with his ministry, but of course he's a power player when it comes to this whole Christian Baptist type of thing. So I've heard his name many times and seen him online, As of recently, you've seen his name mixed up into the whole Diddy situation. Now, I was online on Twitter. I seen so many different people mixing T.D. Jakes' name with Diddy. It's like, I hate this era of commentary and just the way that people receive and process news, because it's just like it avoids them from looking at a human being as just that. It's just like as a human being. He had a medical emergency. T.D. Jakes is 67 years old. We don't know his diet. We don't know anything, about his wellness or anything. It also sounded like during him speaking his sermon or prayer, in that whole, not conundrum, but it sounded like during that whole speech that he was giving that he had been away. And, he was saying that, he loved and he missed his congregation. I just thought it was odd after he was like, let him go in peace. And it was just like, it looked like he had like some sort of mini, like, I don't know if it was like, if he was shaking, like convulsions or whatever. Some people were saying that he could have had a stroke or he could have had a heart attack, but I wish him well. One of the things that I had seen online, I had seen people saying, like, I seen a YouTube video earlier this week and they were trying to say that it was audio of him at a Diddy party. Let me just tell you this. Multiple people been to Diddy parties. Lil' Kim, she was at Diddy parties. All types of rappers, Fabulous, all of them. A lot of them have been to Diddy parties. I think that there is a subculture of the people who were involved with the freak-offs. And I'm going to say this. I don't know T.D. Jakes. It's the same thing as like, what happened with Eddie Long. It was a lot of people who came out and spoke against him. But we never heard anything in the way of like a Eddie Long, like Diddy. So, give people grace and, give them the ability to go through, what they may be experience it medically without you having to come and like try to make it seem like, oh, Diddy, this, that. It's those are the people who don't have a heart and they don't believe. And guess what? When you're in that crisis and that time, nobody's going to have that consideration for you. So let me read this article. The church also did respond. The Potter's House church also responded. So Dallas, Texas, Bishop T.D. Jakes has suffered an apparent medical emergency at the Sunday service at the Potter's House in Dallas during a prayer. Video surfaced the incident of Potter's House stream posted on social media shows Jakes freezing while on stage and lowering his microphone. Several people quickly surrounded Jakes and the stream ended. Since then, the Potter's House Dallas released a statement saying Bishop T.D. Jakes has experienced a slight health incident and received immediate immediate medical attention following his powerful hour-long message. Bishop Jakes is stable and under care of medical professionals. The entire Potter's House family is grateful for the outpouring love, prayer, support from the community. So the church has made a statement. Thank God it's nothing like, critical and he's, fighting for his life or, anything like that. And we still don't know the details. We know that HIPAA, everything, they're not going to give the exact details, but I'm happy that he was there versus being home or being in a car and that happening. And, because that could have been catastrophic. I had an uncle who was in the car and he experienced a medical emergency. He ended up crashing his car. So so prayers out to the Potter's House church, the TD Jakes family, the congregation, everybody who loves and, connects with his ministry. Now, I was reading an article as well as it pertains to the whole Diddy situation. And because, people love to mix up TD Jakes' names with Diddy. I want to just remind you this. Remember this week or last week it came out that Diddy had pretty much the feds found out that he was trying to pretty much sway the jury by the way that his kids were trying to make him appear publicly, like through posts on Instagram and trying to reach out to witnesses to make him appear a certain type of way. The reason I also keep looking at the camera when I'm looking away like that is because for some reason this camera has a tracking, like I see it on my eyes now. If my head tilts for too long, it's going to make the video dark, and I don't want that to happen. So I want to read this to y'all so y'all understand the role that T.D. Jakes played in the whole Diddy situation, right? So, but keep in mind what I said about his kids. So, why Dallas megachurch pastor T.D. Jakes was mentioned in a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. All right. So they put an editor's update. They said the story has been updated to clarify that Bishop T.D. Jakes was mentioned in the lawsuit, but was not named as a defendant. He's not a defendant in the lawsuit. Dallas megachurch pastor of the Potter's House, Thomas Dexter T.D. Jakes, has been mentioned in a lawsuit that associates him with Sean P. Diddy Combs. And this is how this whole thing got started, kicked off or whatever, right? All right. So the lawsuit filed by the music producer Combs, Bad Boy Record, the lawsuit filed by music producer for Combs, Bad Boy Records, Rodney Little Rod Jones, accuses Combs of several of his associates of participating in SCX trafficking venture, right? The civil lawsuit filed in the U.S. federal court for the Southern District of New York, obtained by USA Today on Monday, alleges that for more than a year, Combs had intimately harassed and drugged and threatened Jones. All right. So what does this lawsuit say about Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes? Open up your ears. Open your ears up, right? And before I say this again, multiple people went to Diddy. Fabulous went to Diddy parties. Is he on the tapes? I mean, we don't know. Until I feel like this, you got to give people grace. Until we hear something negative or something in stone about T.D. Jakes, you can't just, you can do what you want to do, but I don't think that is fair, especially during a time like this when he's going through a medical emergency. All right. So what does the lawsuit say about T.D. Jakes? The lawsuit states that Jones has irrefutable evidence that Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact on his public image with the Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. So that's what it states. So Jake is not named as a defendant in the civil suit. According to the Dallas Morning News in December 2023, Jakes was accused of participating in SCX parties hosted by Combs and the unverified reports on social media. Jakes responded to the reports on Christmas Eve service at the Potter's House. The worst, and he said this is what TD Jake said, the worst that could happen if everything was true, all I got to do was repent sincerely from my heart, he said. There's enough power in the blood to cover all kinds of sin. I don't care what it is, the blood would fix it, Jake said. So I'm assuming, and he said, but I ain't got to repent about this. So that's him leaning on his faith and everything in God. And he pretty much said that, again, let me just repeat what he said. And I think this is why it took people, because people are always trying to find some tea or find some details. He said the worst thing that could happen is everything. He said the worst thing that could happen if everything was true is that all I got to do is repent sincerely from my heart, he said. There's enough power in the blood to cover all of sin. I don't care what it is. The blood would fix it, TD Jake said, but I ain't got to repent for this. Jake founded the Potter's House Church in 1996, reportedly has more than 30,000 members in the church with locations in Frisco, Fort Worth, Denver, Los Angeles as well. I think they have a location in Houston, I believe, too. So listen, I want your thoughts about this. Are you one of those people who, when something like this happens, people, I don't think that he has any stress related to the whole Diddy situation at all. I just feel like he had a medical emergency. Who knows if he had breakfast in the morning? Who knows if he took his medication, or, how he, the nature of, like, is he taking his medication? Is he is he undiagnosed for any other reasons? You just really don't know. And I think that we should just try to give people grace when it pertains to certain things. I know that I even do commentary on a lot of things, but if a person has a medical situation going on, you try to give them grace instead of just trying to, like, put some drama into it to just, make it look more crazier. Like, I just feel like it's not necessary at all. But listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. Again, my prayer, my heart, and everything goes out to the TD Jakes family, friends, associates, everybody who's concerned about him, anybody else who's going through anything like this as well. So listen, get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and make sure that you support the channel as well. My Cash App is in the description. I'm up out of here. Peace.